Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Union Minister of Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal and New Zealand Prime Minister Christopher Luxon attend a special event with the Indian diaspora and community leaders in Auckland. The Ministry of Electronics, Information and Technology unveils new guidelines on AI governance, a focus on safe, inclusive and responsible adoption of artificial intelligence. In a turn of tide, Democrats win it big in key US polls post Donald Trump's second term. Trump pins blame on government shutdown that has entered its 36th day. Bharat immerses in Guru Nanak Jayanti and Dev Deepavali celebrations with devotion and reverence. PM Modi extends greetings on the auspicious day. During his visit in New Zealand, India's Minister of Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal was hosted by Prime Minister Christopher Luxon along with the Minister of Trade and Investment Todd McClay. The two shared a warm embrace and paid a tribute to Mahatma Gandhi's centre in Auckland. On the sidelines of the visit, DD India's Soumya Sharma caught up with New Zealand's Prime Minister Luxon for an exclusive interaction where the leader reflected on the growing bilateral ties and the potential for deeper economic collaboration with India.
How do you see India as a strategic partner in, strengthening New Zealand's economic resilience?
Well, India is one of the most consequential countries on the planet, and it's becoming the third biggest economy in the world. It has a huge defence responsibility as well to make sure there's peace and stability in the Indo-Pacific region. It connects many different parts of the world, the global south, the west, east, it does everything. And so for us, it's a huge opportunity to work together.
Beyond trade, what areas do you see New Zealand and India collaborating on?
Major focus on defence and security, because we don't have prosperity without having security in the region. And the second area is really around our people-to-people links. And what we find is that New Zealanders love Indians, and the Indians seem to love the Kiwis. And as a result, we get to know each other, we get to understand each other, and from there, the conversations happen around trade and investment and flows of capital and information as we get to know and understand each other. So we want to keep encouraging that too.
India-New Zealand Business Forum witnessed a landmark moment as a fireside chat between Indian and New Zealand dignitaries. The forum welcomed the largest ever Indian business delegation to New Zealand, signalling a robust intent to strengthen economic and strategic cooperation. The dialogue highlighted a remarkable convergence in vision and priorities between the two nations, laying the groundwork for expanded collaboration across multiple sectors. India's Minister of Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal and New Zealand Prime Minister Christopher Luxon attended a special event with the Indian diaspora and community leaders in Auckland. During his address, Piyush Goyal said a potential trade agreement will strengthen India and New Zealand ties. He further emphasized on the inclusive and sustainable development, which is at the core of India's philosophy.
A potential free trade agreement with New Zealand will not only strengthen our trade and investment ties, but will give a big message to the world that New Zealand and India have come closer together. They're going to work together for a better future for the people of New Zealand, for the people of India, providing new opportunities of business, creating new job opportunities, adding to the economic development of both nations. And for both of us, inclusive and sustainable development is at the core of our philosophy.
India's Minister of Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal and New Zealand Prime Minister Christopher Luxon attended a special event with the Indian diaspora and community leaders in Auckland, underscoring the growing warmth and cooperation between the two nations. Speaking to the media after the event, Prime Minister Luxon expressed confidence in the bilateral relationship, stating New Zealand is comfortable with its relationship with India.
Two countries that should have a much broader, deeper relationship. It's just common sense. It's just and the possibility of what we can do together in the years and decades ahead is very, very special. So I'm confident we'll get it resolved. We'll get a resolution in place, but there'll be a few things that each side will want to negotiate hard around, as they should. We are very comfortable building up stronger defence relationships and ties with India. I mean, I'm very proud of the way I watched our navies work together. And actually now India's taking over from New Zealand, leading that particular mission and doing a fantastic job. So I think there's a lot of opportunity for us in defence spaces, and how that gets formalised, we're very open to that in the future.
India's Minister of Law and Justice Arjun Ram Meghwal arrived in Bahrain on Wednesday to participate in high-level international events. Minister Meghwal was warmly welcomed by members of the Indian diaspora and the Rajasthani community in Bahrain. The minister has expressed his appreciation for the community. Syrians no longer have grounds for asylum in Germany. Now the civil war in their country is over, says German Chancellor Friedrich Merz. Germany was the EU country that took in the largest number of refugees from the 14-year-long Syrian civil war due to former Chancellor Angela Merkel's open-door policy, with around 1 million Syrians living in the country today. But Merz and several fellow conservatives in his coalition cabinet say the situation has changed following the fall last December of Bashar al-Assad's government and end of the war. Meanwhile, Chancellor Friedrich Merz has invited Syrian President Ahmed al-Shara to Germany to discuss deporting Syrian citizens with criminal records in Germany. Syria remains in a deep humanitarian crisis, and forcible returns would face steep legal challenges. And controversy has erupted within the German government about whether refugees from Syria in Germany can be expected to return to their home country now that the civil war in Syria has ended. This follows a visit by the German foreign minister to Damascus last week. For more on this, we are joined by DW correspondent Hans Brandt in Berlin. Hi Hans, what happened when the German foreign minister was in Syria recently?
Well, he was in Syria to discuss with the government there what this refugee situation was, how Syria would need support in rebuilding the country and so on. And as part of his visit, he went to see a suburb of Damascus, the capital of Syria, which had been destroyed during the war. And he was so shocked by that that he said that he could not see how people could end up living in this kind of destruction, that he thought it was not humanely possible to send people back to a situation like that. That in turn caused a lot of criticism within his conservative Christian Democrat party. Members of his party accused him of basically going behind their back, of lightening or softening the stance that this party has been having on migration, saying that people that are refugees in Germany need to leave the country as quickly as possible. The Conservatives are very much under pressure from right-wing populists such as the Alternative for Germany, who've made migration their central issue. And this controversy within the governing party has gone so far that some people within the party are calling for the resignation of the foreign minister.
Indeed, Hans, but surely the question is not that complicated. The war in Syria has ended, so refugees have to go home.
Yes, on the face of it, it isn't complicated. The refugees no longer are refugees because they have no reason to flee their country anymore, because there is no war there anymore. But once you look at the details, it does become pretty complicated. Does Syria have the capacity to take in so many people? Will they find jobs? Will they find accommodation? Will they find schools for their children? People here in Germany, Syrians here in Germany, say that they would like to go and have a look whether all those conditions are possible on the Syrian side, but they're not allowed to go back there and have a look. Once they have left Germany, they will not be able to come back here. then there's the question of money. Who's going to pay for all of this? You can't just put these people on a train or on a plane and send them back. So there is a lot of intergovernmental coordination and discussion and negotiation that still needs to go on. So in the end, while the situation itself appears to be clear, actually putting this into action is going to be quite complicated.
Right, Hans. Most refugees from Syria have been in Germany for around 10 years now. Have they become part of German society?
Yes, that obviously is another part of the issue. Many of these people no longer, basically they have become Germans, they're German citizens, so those of them that have become citizens of this country cannot be sent away. There are many of them that have been well integrated into German society. Their children speak German rather than Arabic. There are thousands of Syrian doctors, for instance, working in German hospitals and have a very significant role to play in the German health system, because Germany does not have enough doctors of its own and requires medical personnel from outside the country. So there again, it's a matter that becomes a lot more complicated the more you look at the details. And in the end, I think, despite what the German foreign minister and his party are discussing now, humanitarian aspects will also play a role in deciding who goes back to Syria and to what part of Syria.
All right, Hans, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much. And still to come on this edition of DD India Live. Saudi Arabia has launched the second edition of Global Harmony Initiative. What is this initiative and where does India figure in it? We will get you more on this. Supermoon rises over Sydney's iconic Bondi Beach.
This week on Defense Dynamics, we decode Astra Mark II, why it is India's next generation air dominance weapon, what makes this missile a true game changer. We analyze the force multiplier in the sky, India's mid-air refueling aircraft and their critical role in sustaining air power. Finally, the infantry soldier gets a much-awaited close-quarter battle carbine, which is compact, precise and built for decisive close combat. We decode the Army Chief's words, preparing for the unknown. What does it reveal about India's evolving war-fighting mindset? Catch the sharpest analysis of strategy, firepower and future warfare this Wednesday at 8 p.m. IST only on DD India.
You're watching DD India Live. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. A political earthquake in America as Democrats pull off a stunning trio of victories in the first major elections since Donald Trump's return to the White House. From the streets of New York City to the state houses of Virginia and New Jersey, voters delivered a loud and unmistakable message. Change is in the air. DD India's Aarti Rana reports.
They brought in an entirely new political narrative for the Americans. Democratic candidates romping home in style, inflicting serious political damage to the grand old party. 2 states voted to choose women Democratic governors. In Virginia, history was made as Abigail Spanberger became the first woman to lead the state. The former CIA officer and moderate Democrat unseated Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin, restoring the governor's mansion to Democratic hands.
My fellow Virginians, tonight we sent a message. We sent a message to every corner of the Commonwealth. A message to our neighbors and our fellow Americans across the country. We sent a message to the whole world that in 2025, Virginia chose pragmatism over partisanship. We chose our Commonwealth over chaos. Leadership that will focus on problem solving, not stoking division. We chose leadership that will always put Virginia first.
In New Jersey, Democrat Mickey Sherrill prevailed in a fiercely fought race against Republican Jack Ciattarelli, continuing her party's winning streak in what became the most expensive governor's race in the state's history.
We see how clearly important liberty is. We know that no one in our great state is safe when our neighbors are targeted, ignoring the law and the Constitution. But prosperity is equally essential. Liberty alone is not enough if the government makes it impossible for you to feed your family, to get a good education, or to get a good job. So in this country, that shouldn't be too much to ask. But right now, all of it seems at risk. Governors have never mattered more.
But perhaps no election caught the fancy of the US and the world other than that of mayoral fight for the New York City. 34-year-old Democratic Socialist Zohran Mamdani has been elected mayor of the New York City, defeating political heavyweight Andrew Cuomo and defying fierce attacks from conservatives and even President Trump himself. Trump has labeled Mamdani a communist and vowed to cut funding for the city in response to his ascension. Adding to the misery of the grand old party was the decisive mandate given by the California voters to redraw its electoral districts. Interestingly, in California, voters approved a ballot measure to allow the state to redraw its voting district maps to make a handful of congressional seats more favorable to Democrats in the 2026 midterm elections, another blow to Donald Trump. The effort was spearheaded by California Governor Gavin Newsom, who is considering a White House run in 2028. President Trump, meanwhile, refused to shoulder any blame for the losses, posting on Truth Social that pollsters, not policies, were to blame. The sweep gives Democrats a powerful boost heading into next year's high-stakes midterm elections, where control of the Congress will once again hang in balance. With Aarti Rana, Tanvi Taneja for DD India.
The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has launched the second edition of Global Harmony Initiative. What is this initiative and where does India figure in it? My colleague Munmun Bhattacharya reports from Riyadh.
The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is undergoing a profound transformation. What was until a decade back a conservative and closed society is now opening up. A place once known for no theatres is now embracing cultural diversity and entertainment. Its traditional oil-dependent economy is diversifying into non-oil sectors. Saudi Arabia is not only changing, it is also spreading the narrative of its transformation to the world. A major way in which it is doing so is through the Global Harmony Initiative. The second edition of the Global Harmony Initiative, being organized by the Ministry of Media of Saudi Arabia, got underway in Riyadh this week. This initiative was first launched in 2024 under Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 framework. Vision 2030, officially launched in 2016, is the inspiration behind the kingdom's sweeping transformation as it aims to diversify the Saudi economy away from oil dependency, promote social reforms and intermingling of cultures, modernize the country's infrastructure and expand its global outreach under the leadership of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Global Harmony Initiative celebrates the diversity of residents living in the kingdom by spotlighting their contributions, cultural heritage and successful integration into Saudi society.
The Global Harmony program is uniting all the locals living in Saudi Arabia, especially in Riyadh city, to come down to all merge together to show the harmony that Saudi and Riyadh city is their second home. This is a token of appreciation for all the hard workers who are living in Riyadh city and making Saudi and Riyadh a better place to live in.
For the second consecutive year, there is special focus on Indian culture and heritage in the Global Harmony Initiative. The Indian expatriate community, which is the largest expatriate community in the kingdom at 2.73 million, is being honoured through the India Week. India Week is showcasing India's vibrant cultural identity through music, dance, cuisine, art and traditional crafts. By organising the India Week under its umbrella, the Global Harmony Initiative is thus becoming a shared cultural bridge between the two nations.
And it's a small token of appreciation for the culture and for the people, and to show them what is all India about, and to start off and kick off the whole Global Harmony program with India is to show the whole world how much we as Saudis and personally love the Indian culture and love the food and love the harmony that we live with together.
The wider Global Harmony Initiative celebrates 14 diverse cultures represented by residents in the kingdom and the successful integration of these expatriates with the Saudi society. While cultures of many expatriate communities are represented in the Global Harmony Initiative, India carries a special place in the celebrations. The three Khans of Bollywood, Shah Rukh Khan, Salman Khan and Amir Khan, were together in Riyadh in October as part of the Riyadh season celebrations. Their candid conversations about their stardom, friendship and journeys in Indian cinema made it a historic, once-in-a-lifetime moment for fans. This only goes on to show the love for Indian cinema here and the immense promise of what could come in the culture and entertainment space in future. With cameraman Pramod Negi, this is Manman Bhattacharya from Riyadh for DD India.
The Ministry of Electronics, Information and Technology on Tuesday unveiled the guidelines of India's AI governance, enabling safe and trusted innovation, a key milestone in India's AI mission. The event organized in New Delhi was attended by Secretary, Ministry of Electronics, Information and Technology S. Krishnan, Professor Ajay Kumar Sood, Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India, were amongst other dignitaries in attendance.
We really want to have a guiding principle which is said, do no harm. That's, I think, the three words which define the guiding thing on this, and whatever it needs to do using technology for regulation and making sandboxes, risk mitigation in various forms, and not something which is written in stone.
Additionally, the event also announced the winners of India AI GSI Mineral Targeting with AI Hackathon and felicitated them with 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs rupees with a special prize for all women teams to encourage diversity and inclusion. Today, the nation is celebrating the 556th birth anniversary of Guru Nanak Dev Ji with deep devotion and reverence. Guru Nanak Dev Ji gave the world the message of equality, service and humanity. DT India's Suyash Sharma reports.
In 1469, in the village of Talwandi Rai Bhui near Lahore, known today as Nankana Sahib, a divine soul was born. He gave humanity the eternal message, Ek Onkar Satnam. There is one God, his name is Truth. Guru Nanak Dev Ji, the first Guru and founder of Sikhism, broke through the boundaries of religion, caste and society in 16th century, offering a new vision, the vision of humanity. Throughout his life, Guru Nanak Dev Ji upheld equality, devotion and truth above all. His teachings gave rise to traditions of Langar, Pangat and Sangat, where everyone sits together, eats together, makes decisions together and serves together. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has described Guru Nanak Dev Ji's teachings as a guiding light for humanity. In 2019, he inaugurated the Kartarpur corridor, making it easier for devotees to visit this sacred site. Permission for FCR registration was granted to Harminder Sahib, allowing donations from abroad for langar services. Removing GST from langar, compensating victims of the 1984 riots, and reopening investigations into those cases reflect the government's commitment to justice. All these efforts embody the Guru's ideals of justice and service.
Guru Nanak Dev Ji ਇੱਕ ਸਿੱਖ ਕੌਮ ਦੇ ਬਾਨੀ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੇ ਇੱਕ ਰਹਿਬਰ ਹੋਏ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੁੱਲ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਂਝਾ ਉਪਦੇਸ਼ ਦਿੱਤਾ। ਵੱਖ-ਵੱਖ ਧਰਮਾਂ ਦੇ ਵੱਖ-ਵੱਖ ਧਰਮ ਸਥਾਨਾਂ ਤੇ ਗਏ, ਕੁੱਲ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੇ ਰਹਿਬਰ, ਕੁੱਲ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੇ ਧਰਮ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕਾਇਲ ਹੀ ਹੋਏ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਫੈਨ ਹੀ ਹੋਏ। ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਸ਼ ਦਿਹਾੜਾ ਸਾਰੇ ਹੀ ਧਰਮ ਕੁੱਲ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੜੀ ਸ਼ਰਧਾ ਭਾਵਨਾ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮਨਾਇਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ।
Devotees from Gurudwara across the globe on the occasion of Guru Nanak Jayanti.
ਇੱਥੇ ਅੱਜ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਰੌਣਕ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਆਇਆ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਆਸ਼ੀਰਵਾਦ ਮਿਲ ਸਕੇ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਦਾ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
Guru Nanak Dev Ji's message is not merely of devotion, it is a path of humanity and unity. Bureau Report, DD India.
India's Varanasi, the city of Lord Shiv, where every festival becomes a celebration of devotion. But during Dev Deepavali, Banaras transforms into a mesmerizing sea of lights, with every corner of the city shimmering as if the stars themselves have descended to earth. Celebrated every year on Kartik Purnima, this festival is being observed today with great enthusiasm. Australia's iconic Bondi Beach glimmered on Wednesday as supermoon rose over the beach. Beaver moon, as the name finds its origin in Native American culture, where the locals would name the full moons throughout the year as a way to keep track of time. The super full moon illuminated Australia's famous beach as tourists gathered to witness the marvel. That's all for this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms, and you can scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.